Tonight, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. And the New England Patriots taking on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. A moment ago, the pride of Massachusetts, the Patriots, introduced to this, as always, sold-out crowd as they get set to go head-to-head with the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Here's Harris to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. This defense for the Jets, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Now Jones. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On second down, Mostert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Throwing, Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. on the handoff. This is Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Tackled by Ashton Davis up from the secondary. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got the connection here to Bourne. And the Patriots are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots. Nelson Aguilar. His first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there. That nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here's Lewis. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU. It's Zach Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
This will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
2nd down and 3. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Madden. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And we are tied here in the second quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. No return there for Harris. And the drive will begin at the 25. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They hand it off to Mostert. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Mostert. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. There's Wilson to throw. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 37.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Play action. Now Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the...
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment and you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. That time a 9-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Patriots ready to get the football back. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Jones throw pulled in by Aguilar. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw into the hands of Henry here.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones getting this out to the flat. Mostert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Jones, this ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
They'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They go play action with Wilson.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. They go play action now. Wilson.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10.
Now it's Wilson.
And it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go, as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached half. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half. And here's Lewis.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Jets now to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. On 1st down, Madden. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
6 yards left on second down. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Big yardage that time for the Jets. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Another carry now for Madison, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They run the counter. Madden. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps a deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Throwing on first down. Jones. And incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now Wilson. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that is going to do it. for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Madden, and he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run the counter. Madden down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Working with a 2nd and 4. Now a give to Madison. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. An extra quarter comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. On 1st down, Jones. Open man is born. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. New England on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run it with Jones. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Jones on 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's caught by Aguilar. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible. We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Well, this throw caught left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw again. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Now Lewis selects to return it. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all of their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Madden. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. Wilson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's the Jets punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And it's going to be a short field to work with after this one. It's touchdown at the 45-yard line. So now Jones and the Patriots down by 2. A minute 37 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. This is Mostert. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. To throw is Jones. And he completes it to Berrios. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now Mostert. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now Joey Slye for the point after. Is up to 5. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. Joey Slye now to kick off after the touchdown. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the 1st half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the 1st half, it gets ugly in the 2nd half. They've come out with a new resolve.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, that's simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Wilson. Uncorks one for Davis. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Patriots have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it. And that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for New England, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week.